Hello, beautiful humans. If you're a part of this community, then most likely you're not one of the people who believe that you have to choose either spirituality or prosperity. You're not somebody who believes that matter and spirit are separate. No, if you're in this community, you're one of us. You're one of the people who know that heaven and earth are one, that matter and spirit long to be united as one. And that's why today I wanted to make this video about something quite curious and fun, but also important, which is this. Why do spiritual people need money? Why do spiritual people need money? If we're going to start learning about money and money alchemy and healing our ancestral money wounds, then we have to know why we want this money. Because odds are we want it for different reasons than we see the world out there wanting it. We don't want it because we necessarily want to go shopping at the mall every weekend, or we want to waste money buying things we don't need, or want to participate in the culture of consumerism. That's not why spiritual people want money. Spiritual people want money for higher values. In that way, money itself becomes the embodiment of a different essence. The money that the 3D people are using, the people who are still operating from a fight or flight survival mode are using, is very much a limited source of money, versus where we can tap into in the 5D meanings of money is the real spirit and essence of abundance. So today I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why money is important for spiritual people. And I'm going to be partly sharing my own experience, because when I first started my spiritual journey, I was very much anti-money. I was very much judging money. I was very much about that's their world and I don't want anything to do with it. Not interested. And that was my reality for about 2 years. So I quit my job and I was living on my savings for 2 years. Now, some of us have that privilege that I was able to save, and some of us, we don't even have that privilege to start with. But the point was, I had enough stored that I did not have to worry about money, and anything that brought in the conversation of money, I just was repelled from. And so I remember in my early spiritual communities, I was very much around people who did not have an understanding or desire to make money. And I was one of them. I was very much not interested in having a job and having a career. I just said no to that world, and I thought those worlds were separate. I either had the job and the career and the degrees and that path I was following until I was about 25, or I went spiritually, meditating in the mountains or the jungles of Bali and not caring about money. But that only took me so far, because I realized money is about the stories we tell about it. And in truth, we need it to live the life we want to live, because otherwise we're limited by what we have, which is scarcity or a limited amount, to make decisions that actually are important to our lives and our soul and our growth. So let me share with you a story. The other week, me and Ihab were at Ma'in, the hot springs here in Jordan, one of my favorite places in the world. So healing and so magical. And it was a Thursday, so it was a very busy day. There was a lot of people in the pool, maybe 10, 20, and for us that's a bit too noisy for an experience we go to for relaxation and healing. And so we said, why don't we go to the spa? Of course, the spa is a higher bill, let's say. It's about 3 times what you would pay in the local hotel pool. And so we went for it, and you go to the spa, and there's this really calming, relaxing music going, and there's maybe 2 or 3 other people at the spa spring pool. So suddenly you have this exclusive space that is reserved. 1 sec, I'm just gonna go get the bell. There's someone. Sorry, that was the weekly water delivery. We work with this company that delivers glass bottles for the cooler, and that's really amazing health-wise. Anyways, back to the story. So we were in Ma'in, and suddenly we're able to have access to this beautiful, calming space. Less people, less noise, less energy. And we got there and we're like, oh, that's why it's worth it to pay for this extra service, this extra spaciousness. And so one of the reasons you need money, it's to be able to access places that you might not otherwise be able to access. That helps you with your spirituality. We're able to meditate in there. We're able to go to the sauna and the steam. And so in that spaciousness and that silence and that tranquility that you're able to buy with what money can offer you, then you're able to upgrade the quality of your experiences. And if you're gonna go spend thousands just going on a stupid hotel room in a big city, that's your choice. But in essence, if you have money, you can start to make the choices that really align with your soul, so that money itself becomes a tool for elevating your soul. And so this was reason number one, to be able to afford experiences that give you the peace, the tranquility, and the space needed for your own spiritual evolution. So I'm really thankful that we had the money to be able to invest in the extra price to have that. And it was really something we are super grateful for, to the spirit of money. Now, the second thing that money really is an important part of the journey, it's to be able to invest in the courses that we invest in, the education and the mentors, the coaches. Me and Ihab spend more money on mentors and coaches probably than anyone we know. And that's because we really believe in it. We really believe in the exponential factor of getting a coach or getting a mentor or. And so every year we up that. So we made a bit more money. We literally put about 10% of what we make into coaching and mentorship. And that's something we all should be doing. If not coaching and mentorship, at least education, at least courses. I'm constantly learning. I'm never spending a week or even a day sometimes not making sure I'm getting an hour's worth of learning. And so this is something that if you have money, you can buy. Otherwise, you're going to be that person that's always asking for discounts or off or not being able to pay or not being able to actually make that choice to buy that course that you know you will grow and evolve with. And so really investing in your education is a really important reason to want money and to be committed to the healing of money in a way that is really aligned with your soul. Number three is really making choices from your soul. This means any place in your life where you go to make choices that regard purchasing something or exchanging that energy, then making sure you're making the choices that your soul wants to make. That when you go to the supermarket, you're not buying the cheaper lemons, you're buying the lemons that you feel will be juicy and delicious for your smoothie, or the organic spinach instead of the spinach that's filled with GMOs, and that will modify your DNA in ways you do not want to modify your DNA. Or that when you go to a restaurant, you're not that person that's looking at the prices to make sure you don't order that sea bass that's like double the price of everything else, that you choose what you really feel like. And you can think of that in all areas of your life. How can you make more choices from a place of true alignment instead of from a place of scarcity and limitation, that you have a budget and you have to work around it? Now, we have budgets, and I really believe in budgets and I really work with my budget. But also, I don't want to be making choices or not making choices I want to make just because I can't afford it. And so for me, making the choices that feel good to my soul is a really part of this evolution. And I used to go to the menus and look at the prices before I even chose the things. I don't do that anymore. And I stopped doing that even before I started making more money, because I realized that, hey, my soul wants to make some choices that feels good to it. Now, this doesn't have to be limited to food, although I love food. I definitely love it more than Ihab. But just thinking of the places where in your life you can be making choices that really suit you. Maybe with your fashion, with your clothing. You want to wear something more fancy, more elegant, more high vibe, more quality. My clothes in Bali, they're not suits that you would find in malls. They're handmade, bamboo, sustainable, organic, and they're like 5 times what you would be able to buy in a shop here in the mall. So I don't even like the word expensive because it shows that it's above you. But things that are more pricey can also be of higher quality for your soul. Sustainable, aligned with the planet and taking care of the planet, which is also a big priority we want to put in our spending and in the things we contribute our energy and money to support really sustainable brands, sustainable restaurants, sustainable services and businesses, rather than businesses that are destroying the earth. All right. So, number 4. Number 4 is probably one of my favorite things in this reality and life, which is traveling. Traveling is so core to your evolution, to your growth, to your expansion, to your learning. From the moment I was young and I realized I can take a plane on my own, which was around high school, I probably used most of my savings to travel, because travel is where really the money you put in, you get back in experiences and new friends and new learnings and new connections and new visions and new beauty witnessed and learning more about this beautiful planet and the people who inhabit it. I've definitely traveled on cheaper budgets, staying in hostels, getting cheap tickets in the flight, and. So you can be a budget travel. You still need money. You probably still need around $1,000 to have a nice trip around Europe, for example. Or you want to leave Algeria and you want to go travel the different Middle Eastern countries. You're going to need money for flights, money for hotels, and. So traveling is a costly thing. And if you believe in traveling, which your soul probably does, because your soul is a traveler, you've traveled dimensions, you've traveled planets, you've traveled. And so this physical traveling is only an invitation or a portal into deeper traveling within yourself. So traveling is not a bonus. It's not something you just do to go on vacation once a year. It's something really core to your evolution and going out of the box that is your hometown, that is your country, that is your culture. You have to go out into the world and explore. And you need money for this. And you especially need money for this if you want to do it in a way that feels good, that is a high quality of travel. Maybe eventually aiming to travel first class. Maybe eventually aiming to travel and stay in really nice hotels. So really make travel a priority, and money will become something that you believe in, because you need money to travel. You need travel to make money, because you will be more inspired, you will be more connected, you will be more global thinking and a global change maker. And I think we've gone beyond that age of everybody being kind of local and their small communities and culture. Now we need our roots. We need to be rooted in our local communities and culture and heritage and ancestry, and really heal through that. And we need to expand. So traveling is almost taking that energy up into the ether so we can be more broad, so that if we're a tree, our branches are reaching out and not just staying like a log, which is how a lot of cultures end up just repeating their own traumas again and again, because there's no expansion and exposure to other cultures. And it's through this exposure and interaction with other cultures and people that we stop judging, that we realize we're all one, that our soul can reach that point of knowing that me and this neighboring country, we're the same. We share the soul essence. Me and the person who lives in Nepal in the mountains, we still laugh the same laughter on the same silly things that happen in life. And this kind of interconnection is really core to your soul's journey to feel and understand. So care about money if you care about travel. And finally, I think what brings all of these together is one word, and it is the word that drives me to create more so that I can receive more money, which is the word freedom. Money is not in and of itself something good or bad. Money is a tool. It's an exchange. It's a system that humans have created to be able to harmonize the exchange of energy and gifts and services. And so in order to get this one word, money is really, really, really powerful. Money is your portal to freedom, free choices, freedom to become who you want to become, freedom to travel, all the freedoms. When you have money, one of the good friends that we have, who's a very wealthy woman, she says, when you have money, there's no problems. You can solve a lot of your problems that are so small when you zoom out. It's just a bit more money. And you know, maybe that doesn't feel good to you as a statement, but hey, that's kind of what we've realized. If you can't get into a country, well, you can pay a bit more and get the visa, for example. Just make sure that if you do want to go into a deeper money healing, that you understand why you're going into it. For me, freedom is really core. It's central. It's one of my top values. I want to live freely. I want to make choices from my soul. I want to travel. I want to meet. I want to learn. I want to meet the top mentors in the world. I'm investing a good sum of money this beginning of the year to work with someone I really admire. She's written books, she's done courses, she's traveled, she's one of the top 100 spiritual teachers in the world. And this is something I'm so privileged and grateful that I can invest in. And it's because in the past 2 years, I've cared about making a bit more money. And so today I want to invite you to care a bit more and start shifting your beliefs and your relationship to money. Now, we all need a hand, right? We need someone to offer the hand and pull us, because we've all gone a few steps ahead of each other in different places. Maybe in relationships or in your relationship to your body, you're ahead of me. And one day I can reach out to you, sister, and say, hey, show me how you've done it. And when it comes to money and building your brands and really being able to sustain yourself in a way that feels good to your soul, I have walked a few steps ahead of where I used to be 2 years ago. And what I want to do is to be able to transfer this knowing, this knowledge, this experience, this shift, this healing to you. And that's why I created my course, The Money Goddess, which is a 3-day intensive deep dive online, so you can be anywhere in the world, that we're going to be taking in February together as a community. Now, this course is not for everyone. It's not for people who think I'm going to take the course and next day I'm going to make $1 million. Or people who think, you know what, money, I'm still so yucky. This is for people who listen to this video, resonate with the content, and feel, I really want to step into my abundance, my prosperity, my wealth, and to feel, start with feeling what money feels like when it's healthy and healed and abundant, which is your true essence, which is the money goddess. This course is going to be a really beautiful experience. We're going to heal. We're going to go into our ancestral wounds and patterns and stories. We're going to create a new system and a new valuing, a new purpose for money. And we're going to be starting to explore strategies and how to really ground that on the ground, starting from managing our money to creating more money to sustaining more money to really just setting in the blueprint of money and wealth consciousness. Now, if this calls you, definitely check the link above or below or wherever you find it around this beautiful little screen and register. Registration closes on January 20th. I don't want you to miss out on this course. I'd love to see you there. And until then, I wish you a beautiful and cosmic and empowered and blissful day. And I'll see you again next week.